With the arrival of spring comes the glorious weather. The flowers want to burst into full color, the bees are humming, and of course, the birds are singing. Talking about birds, I always push putting bird houses out, the nesting boxes out in the fall, because then the early birds will catch them. But even in late spring, you're not too late to put them out there. And of course, some birds actually will have a second brood, another set of eggs. So what I'm going to do is go inside and give you some key points. So when you're out and about in the spring and the summer and you see a nice bird house, you'll be able to use these points to say, is it good for the birds or is it going to be more decorative? So the first thing to be concerned about is the birdhouse designed for a particular species? And some houses are. And in this case, this is a chickadee house. And if you want to get chickadees, it's got all the right features, the right size hole. And if you look inside, chickadees like rough sawdust to nest in. So it actually comes with a bag there. There are also some instructions that will tell you where to hang the house. So the chickadees would be quite happy. Okay, on to the second point. All right, let's talk about insulation. And what they mean by that is you're using a material, the birdhouse is made of a material that will keep the heat out. So sometimes with the sun on the birdhouse, it can get incredibly hot. Wood, though, is an excellent insulator, so it keeps it cooler inside. Now on to the third point, which is ventilation. So that goes with insulation as well. And if you look at the birdhouse, is there a space at the top where the hot air can rise and get out the way? So a good birdhouse must have good ventilation. The next important point is paint or stain. Some of it can be quite toxic to birds, and if you stain the house a dark color, it's going to overheat again. A good quality birdhouse, though, the wood should just age outside by itself. Natural surface is probably the best way. Certainly no painting or staining inside the house. You can probably get away with painting the roof, that won't be such a problem, but don't get anything that's painted inside or stained inside. Well, our next feature is, just like any good old home or house, is protection from the elements. You won't buy a house if the rain comes in, and that's the same for birdhouses as well. How does the rain get away? Well, a sloping roof works very, very well. And also sometimes you can have a sloping floor, so any rain that does get in can drain out through some drainage holes at the bottom. And I think you can probably see there are just in the corners. It's cut away so the water can get out. Well, the next feature you may not actually be quite aware of, but some of the little birds, once they've hatched and matured, they have to get up to the hole. And having a rough surface is really quite important, so the bird can kind of claw their way up to the hole so they can make their first attempts at flight. So bear that in mind. If it's all smooth and slidey, it's not going to be any help to the birds trying to get out the birdhouse. Here's a category that often causes a bit of controversy, is to perch or not to perch. Well, basically a good birdhouse does not need a perch. A perch is just a means for a rodent, some kind of predator, to get inside and attack either the eggs or the baby birds or even the adult bird. So perches are not a good idea. Look for a house that doesn't have a perch. Birds are quite happy to perch on the entrance, and they don't need this little piece of wood or metal sticking out. Well, I see so many birdhouses that have no way of cleaning them out. And in this case, cleaning out is vital. A good side door like this allows you to get inside and clean everything out all ready for the next season. So some way of getting into the birdhouse, really, really important. Ease of cleaning. The next category is, how do you attach your birdhouse? How do you mount it to whatever, whether it hangs from a tree, gets screwed to a post? Is it secure? Is it going to last? Is a storm going to blow it away? Because that's going to be very problematic. So check to see how it mounts. There are even ones that will sit on top of the post. Do they have a nice metal plate that allows you to screw to the pole and to the base of the birdhouse? And the final category, which is probably the most important one, just how long is your birdhouse going to last outside in the elements? Is it made of good inch-thick wood? Is it screwed together? Are there places where things are going to rust out? So durability is really important. So give it a good check over, just like you're buying a car. Check that the birdhouse is going to last. So armed with our recently acquired knowledge of what makes a good birdhouse, let's put it to work. So I've got a selection here. Now here's a good solid wood one. It's probably designed for a chickadee size hole. And I'm looking at the back. There is certainly ability to clean out. It's fairly well made, very strong. It's got a cedar roof, inch thick wood on the bottom. I'm looking to see if there's any drain. Yeah, there's one little drainage hole. You might want to improve that a bit. And yeah, there's some ventilation. and it's tucked in there. So that's scoring pretty good. And here's something probably a little bit more ornamental. Now it's made of metal. Now metal can get pretty hot in the summertime, so that might be a problem. You could probably put this inside as a decorative piece or on a porch or something like that. But I'm looking for ventilation. I don't see any. Not only are you going to heat the birds up, they won't be able to escape the heat. And it looks like there's no drainage, so that's probably a no-no. Something kind of amusing. This is like an English mailbox. They're always painted this bright red color. And this is a resin one. And there's a good sized hole, but a perch could be a problem for rodents getting in. There is a clean out. There's a nice place to attach it to somewhere, but I'm not seeing any ventilation. And I'm not seeing any drainage as well. So it is resin, though you can actually drill. So drill on the side that you're not visible. You could create some ventilation there, and you certainly could create some drainage on the bottom. But these felt foot pieces tell you that it's more decorative than functional. Now, this one I'm quite surprised at. It's very decorative. It's kind of like a hobbit house. I like the hole, general purpose size hole, and I'm looking underneath. There's a drainage hole, and again on the back, you can clean it out. Now ventilation, at first I thought, oh, I can't see any ventilation, but it's all open inside. And the air can breathe through this. So it's got, just like down south, they have these high ceiling houses. So the hot air can rise to the top, and so can come in here and rise up to the top and find its way out. So not only is it aesthetically pleasing, it is actually quite functional as well. So there you go. Put your knowledge to work and choose a good birdhouse that will last years.